Here, there, this here. We got this here. Yeah, share the screen there. And finally, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm talking to myself for a few seconds there while I'm getting everything going. Good morning, and happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had a nice evening last night. We're going to have a really nice session because I know a lot of folks want to go long today, but I want to caution you. And very good session to be here today. And also, I realized something interesting yesterday. I learned something interesting about the market, something I did not take into account. So I'm always learning something, always learning something. And I realized yesterday. I don't know if you guys realized, but was anybody surprised yesterday at the move that we saw from utilities in light of the chip stocks? How utilities, how power, how electricity is becoming more and more and more correlated to technology. Isn't that interesting? That's not something that used to happen a lot before. Actually, it never happened before cryptos. So now we have to keep an eye on utilities when we're looking at semiconductor stocks, which I thought was very interesting and something we never had to do before. So I thought that was really interesting. So again, I'm always learning something new. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Don't think just because you've been doing this a long time that you know everything. One of the coolest things that I do is I learn from other traders because there's always something to learn. All right, let me say hello to everybody. Omar, we got two Omars today. We got Omar Nazar, we got an Omar day today. Hey, Omars, how are you? Richard, Brian, Ivano, Glenn, Ali. Good morning, Ali. Good to see you. David, Robert, Piet DeBrook, Jody, Lydia, Dennis, John, Texas, Wade, Pops. Hey, Pops, how are you? Richard, Moondog is in the house. Yay. Dr. Serena, good morning. My actuary's here. Armolfo, JB, Heather, Ray, Jeff, Wayne, Rice, Darren, good morning, Darren. Lucy, Naples fan. Faroon, good morning, Faroon. Tom, Gustavo, hey, Gustavo, good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Hope it's not too cold where you're at. It's nice 55 here today. We're supposed to have a nice, reasonable weather. Hey, HG, hope you're doing well abroad. Curious Cat, good morning. Harry, John, Charlie, Clyde. Clyde, I like that. Anthony, Kevin, Curious Cat, Timothy, Lucy, John, Dave. We got Penny. Good morning, Penny. We got Rich. Good morning, Rich. I think I skipped a few here. Got a lot of people here. Liberty, Chris, VST, yeah, HG, VST, yeah. Sarah, Sassy Trainer. And now I understand why VST has been going up so much. I couldn't understand it, but now I really understand it. Eagle Beagle. How are you, Eagle Beagle? Wasn't it interesting? Sassy Trainer, Wakas, Stacy, Todd, Cam, good morning. Virtuvian, Richard, Chad, Michael, Penny, Melvin. How are you, Melvin? Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate that. And by the way, I don't know who said I was being condescending yesterday. I was not being condescending. I really wasn't. A Keyhawk fan, Heather. That's right. If you're not learning, you're not earning. That's right. Good morning, Rochelle. Good to see you here. Gabriel, Jesse, CJ, Dr. Serena, Scampy, Peter. Good morning, Peter. Pete, Santiago. Good morning, Santiago. Lewis, Ralph. Skipped the naked put at 140 and got the shares at 136 for the long position. Oh, there you go. That's fine. That's cool. Uh, Thank you, Dr. Serena. Scott. Good morning, Scott. We got Franco. We got cool weather, good weather this week. Yeah. Roddy. Good morning, Roddy. Thank you for that email. I like it. Roddy likes those zero DTE options that we've been giving in the pit. Richard. Good morning. Cheryl, Rosalind, Julian, Deanna, Murray. Yeah. I'm not, folks. My goal here is to educate you, and really, if I ever get frustrated, it's because I'm not doing a good job of explaining it to you. It's not because of you guys. I really do try really hard to teach you guys this stuff. You were not quite the opposite. Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. A few links. So today, we can have a couple of sparks flying at 2 p.m., folks. It's going to be a big day. I'm going to do a class. Now, Federal Chair Powell and Trump are on the brinks of a big blowout, right? I demand lower rates. One guy doesn't want to lower rates. Now, I've spotted one guy's demanding. Anyway, you guys know the deal with them. I've spotted a pattern telling me exactly how this could play out in the market. I'll discuss the upcoming FOMC rate cut potential fireworks, latest decision, the Fed's signaling dovishness. It's all happening at 2 p.m. today. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I'm going to talk about that today, about whether it's a good time to buy. I have a really good session planned today. Now, sometimes my morning sessions are great, but today it's going to be very actionable because there's an actionable time in the market right now. I also posted a link to my VIP room that's happening at noon. And let me give you guys a link to Customer Service Live, which is very important, which is known as the Cam and Gustavo Show. I should call it the Cam, Gustavo, and the Chip Show, because Chip does come sometimes. Hey, Infinitely, good morning. Good morning. I saw your YouTube channel the other day. I saw who your favorite trader is. You're cheating on me with Ross Cameron. How dare you? I'm just messing around. But thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you for that nice message on your YouTube channel. That's very, very kind of you. I do appreciate it. I was curious. I looked up your YouTube channel the other day. It's like, I got to see who this person is. But thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So let's begin. We have a lot to talk about. Now, the big question we're trying to solve today, the the trillion-dollar question we're trying to solve today is whether or not the market's going to gear up and rally or it's going to pull back. So I'll talk about this in context, okay? I don't want to talk about it out of context. I want to talk about it in context. But there's a lot of factors there's a lot of factors we need to focus on, and I'm going to give you the biggest ones to look at today, okay? The biggest ones that'll help us decide whether the market's going to fill this gap and come up or come right back down here. And it's a really big day because if it starts coming up, we can potentially have a lot of gap to green trades, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about ultimately, right? And also the market gapping up. Um, Good morning, Doris. Hey, Angie, good to see you here. Yep, FOMC statement tomorrow. That's right. Sarah. Sarah says between Trump demanding and Powell hoping rates go. How can we go wrong? Yes, yes. How can it go wrong? Famous last words, right? How can it go wrong? What a mess. What a mess we have on our hands. All right, so far the market's picking up pretty good and we are seeing the Nasdaq up 50 points. The Dow is lagging a little bit behind, which is concerning me, but I do feel in the morning we're going to see a bounce in technology, and I'll explain why and all that in a little bit. But I want to give you guys the full I want to give you guys the full Monty, basically. I want to give you everything we've got. As far as Fed data, we got durable goods coming out in about 22 minutes. This is a pretty important report. And most importantly, we have consumer confidence. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Guys, you may know this. You may know this better than me. But I believe this consumer confidence report does not take into account anything that happened yesterday. I believe this is as of last Friday. Please correct me if I'm wrong, or if you know. If you don't know, please don't say anything. But I believe this will not take into account yesterday. And last Friday, the sentiment was actually pretty bullish. So if I'm assuming this is not going to take into account yesterday, I'm going to make that assumption. And if that's the case, this report should be better than expected. Good morning, Kyung. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Look at that. We may hit 600 today. And if you guys don't mind, please hit the thumbs up button. It's right below the video. Just hit it one time. It helps YouTube figure out that we're actually like a good show, and it helps us get more people in. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's the rumor on the street. Hey, Edgar. Hey, Scorpio. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So we got durable goods. We've got FOMC beginning. Now I'm going to tell you the first part of the clues. Now the problem, we're only trying to solve one problem today. We're doing this whole analysis for 1 hour to determine one thing. Is the SPY going to come up and start filling this gap? Or is the market going to start coming up and filling this gap? Or is this going to be the high and we're going to go down? That's the only thing we're trying to figure out today. Now, watch. I'm going to spend an hour, almost an hour doing that. When people ask me about, Roger, what do you think will happen in a month on a, do you think about how much I have to analyze and how many things I have to get right to analyze that in relationship to how much I have to analyze just to figure out what the market's going to do today? So the only thing we're trying to figure out right now is what is the market going to do today? Anything beyond that is not part of this discussion, okay? So if you're interested in what the market's going to do next week, I don't have any answers for you. My whole point in the morning here, every day, especially today, is to figure out what the next step of the market is going to be, how we can make money right now, okay? So again, I don't know. I could try to analyze and give you an answer, but my answer in trying to figure out what will happen 20 days from now is not going to be nearly as accurate as my answer on what's going to happen right now, because I will have an hour of time figuring it out. Okay? So I just want you to understand the difficulty of the analysis that we have to do just to find out the next step of the market. Trying to figure out the next 20 steps of the market would entail me going through this analysis times 20 and getting 90% of it right, which is virtually impossible for me. For Kramer, he does it every day. Very unsuccessfully, but he does it every day. All right, so just giving you heads up. Is it better than expected means sentiment is it better than expected means sentiment is, it's getting better. Sentiment is getting, well, that's what we're going to answer right now. We're going to answer all of that right now. We're going to talk about all of that right now. I mean, we already are. So first thing is we have the market is already at the A line, at the VWAP. We're already above on the SPY. We're already above yesterday's high. But the SPY wasn't the big troublemaker yesterday, even though 50% of it has market cap. So far, this sign is positive. As far as earnings and Fed data, I don't think the market's going to see any more downside action. It had plenty of opportunity to see selling pressure yesterday. And after they opened, the market did not go lower, which means all of the news was pretty much priced into yesterday. That's the second thing we have going for us. So far, we have this going for us, the fact that we're at a higher high, the fact that the NASDAQ is up, not a lot, but better than a sharp stick in the eye. We have congruency between the Dow, even though it's up very little. We have congruency between the broad market. So far, things are okay. This morning, President Trump said he would put tariffs on import chips. Don't you think it's too much from a president to manipulate? Don't get me started, Mark. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, please. No, I know you're not being political, but don't get me started. I don't think Trump is trying to do it to manipulate the market. I think it's just the way it's coming out. Honestly, I don't think he's trying. I don't think he's doing this to manipulate the market. I think it's just. I think it's just a coincidence. I think it's a coincidence that because he's been on this roll. So I don't. Basically, I don't think he's trying to manipulate the market. I think it's just the timing of these two things. But and I'm not being political, and you can ask me questions like that all the time. But I don't like. But a better question would be, why is he messing with all of these tariffs if our economy is in such a unstable position right now? It's only adding fuel to the fire. It's adding confusion. It's adding distortion to the stock market. But I don't think he's manipulating anything, and I don't think he's guilty of what you are talking about. But I don't like what's happening. I hope I answered your question. And if you want me to get deeper, send me an email. I know a lot of people here, as soon as they hear me talk about Trump, they think I'm talking politics, and I really am not. I really am not. Matter of fact, I don't want to talk about politics, but right now it's very important because of all this tariff stuff. But again, we're seeing some upside so far. We haven't had the Fed data. Another thing that leads me to believe we're not going to see heavy selling pressure is we have FOMC beginning, and we're going to have an announcement tomorrow. So I don't think institutions are going to want to take huge positions I don't think institutions are going to. I don't think institutions are going to take big lumps ahead. Also, yesterday, I didn't see a lot of selling pressure yesterday after the market opened. If you notice yesterday, here, if you notice yesterday, look, we opened down and then we went up the entire day from there on the SPY, on the QQQ. And by the way, Microsoft rallied really hard yesterday. QQQ, hold on a second, rallied yesterday. I mean, it did this, but then it rallied yesterday. It rallied. The only thing, the only stinker, and I'll talk more about this. I don't want to get off base. The only stinker here is semiconductors. Semiconductors. This is where they opened and this is where they closed. So we need to, I'll talk about all of this today. I'll break it down for you like there's no tomorrow. But give me a chance, please. Give me a chance, okay? Give me a chance. Uh, um, I don't know what Kevin will do or not. But anyway, so we do have durable goods today. I think this will be fairly positive. I don't think consumer confidence is going to take yesterday into account. So basically, I don't think these reports are going to roil the market or going to put pressure on the market. Earnings. Now, this is important. RCL came out with a really good number. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Does anybody know if any other company came out? I know RCL came out really positive, which is good for the market. That's a consumer discretionary stock. And that's really good for the market. Good morning, Nestor. So again, we have a lot of earnings today. We have Starbucks, that's a consumer discretionary stock. We have Boeing, that's an industrial stock. We have GM, which will impact Tesla. Tesla is correlated to GM, believe it or not. We have Kimberly-Clark and we have LMT. So we have RTX and we have defense stocks, consumer discretionary stocks, transport stocks, industrial stocks. And tomorrow, the mega caps really start coming in. KMB missed but raised dividend. Okay, RTX. Thank you, Dr. Serena. GM, EPS, beat. Okay. So far, the numbers are not bad this morning. The Dow's coming off a little bit, but NASDAQ is still bouncing. Let's get into the broad market, and then I'll break everything technically for you guys, okay? All right. So stabilizing, markets are now stabilizing, if you want to call it that, after yesterday's dramatic sell-off. Investors are awaiting the Federal Reserve to the policy meeting. That's what they're talking about right here, starting today, ending tomorrow. Dollar strengthened after U.S. President Trump said he preferred significantly larger across-the-board tariffs than the 2.5% reported by new Treasury Secretary. See, he's talking from both sides of his mouth, because on one hand, I want to help economy. Putting tariffs is not going to help economy. Trump also stated that he would soon impose tariffs on foreign-produced semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and certain metals to encourage manufacturing produced domestically. Producing domestically is going to end up costing us 3 times as much, and he knows that. Okay, he's just posturing. I have it in my mind what it's going to be, but I won't be setting it yet, but it'll be enough to protect our country. This means nothing. Okay, so right here, this means nothing. Basically, he's just taught. My suggestion, folks, is don't go by what Trump says. Go by what he does. And again, I'm not saying anything negative about him. I understand he's trying to help, bring the country back out of a shitstorm, but I don't think he's doing it the right way. But that's just my 5 cents. Looking for flat, but already announced reasons they expect poor results. Okay, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. That's something I didn't know. Okay, good to know. Thank you for that. So again, I have my comment here is I wouldn't take this very seriously. I would just go by what he does, not what he says. The ratio of what Trump says to what he does is very different. So let's just go by what he does. But this is not helping sentiment at all. And it's causing craziness in the market. Uh, Wall Street's main index closed mixed. S&P slid to a 1 week low. Tech-heavy Nasdaq slumped to a 1.5 week low. Notice there's no more divergence between the RSP and MAGs. They're aligned. If anything, RSP is now ahead. Why is it? Why he is so hard to keep up with you? You have to listen carefully to Big Orange. Which is why he is so hard to keep up with. Yes, 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 exactly, exactly. And by the way, the market is trying to keep up with him. So all of these gaps we're seeing, all of these things, the market is trying to assimilate itself with what he's saying, but the market can't stay one step ahead of him. So, but here's the thing, folks. As we get further into the election, all of this thing will fall by the wayside. Remember the wall? The wall. And what happened after the first 6 months? Nobody talked about the wall anymore. So that we ended up paying for. But my point is, it'll all get shaken out as the administration continues. Oh, thank you, Bob. Yeah, what he does matters, nothing else. I'm just commenting based on what somebody said. Do you think you got to take Trump at a certain value? Nvidia down 17%. I like how they're calling energy stocks now nuclear stocks. It's the funniest thing in the world, right? Tech stocks are now AI stocks. Utility stocks are now nuclear stocks. The world is changing, folks. Folks, nuclear stocks are utility stocks, okay? And chip stocks, AI stocks are just chip stocks. Nothing changed, okay? The market should. It's hard to ignore the president. Yeah, Eagle Beagle. That's not the problem. The problem is we need clarity right now. This is not clarity. This is confusion right here. This is just confusion right here. There's no clarity here. That's my problem. AT&T climbed, which is really, really good. They had good results. New home sales did better than expected. Honestly, the news wasn't that bad. It was just chips, Nvidia mostly. The problem is Nvidia is a huge stock, and it's in everything. It's in the Dow, it's in the Nasdaq, it's in the S&P. Federal Reserve, they're talking about the Fomc. We have earnings on General Motors, Starbucks, LMT, basically everything I pointed out right here for you guys. Everything I pointed out right here for you guys. If you don't have this yet, let me give it to you. I posted this several times, but in case you don't have it, what triggered NVIDIA from dropping so much, if anything? Chinese news. Okay, here's that. So you guys can have the earnings for tomorrow, for Thursday, and Friday. Just so you know, we have Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, LRCX, ASM, Apple, Intel. I mean, we got it all. Okay? We've got it all in the next couple of days. Durable goods is coming out in 7 minutes. Manufacturing is coming out. I think manufacturing is a 10. Not a big report. Consumer confidence is going to be the big report at 10. And durable goods is going to be the big report here. Europe is up a little bit, giving us a little tailwind, partial rebound from a sharp sell-off in the previous session. Very, very important. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out if that's true. I think they're full of shit, and I think they're using NVIDIA chips in that stock. Also, do you think Zuckerberg would put $65 billion into AI if he knew this? And I think he knows everything that's out there. Oh, my dogs are going crazy right now. Thanks, Dr. Serena. I appreciate it. And folks, please hit the thumbs up button if you get a chance. So Europe is up a little bit. We got a little tailwind from Europe. Utilities and media stocks gained ground on Tuesday. Notice it's not tech stocks, not chip stocks. Not a good sign. Japan closed lower today, continuing its decline from previous session, not giving us tailwind. This is very bad. Chip stocks tied to the U.S. AI value chain plummeted on Tuesday and worries that Chinese startup might challenge supremacy of U.S. AI leaders. Heavy industrial stocks also weighted on sentiment. I don't see that in the U.S. Chip stocks are higher pre-market. NVIDIA up over 3%. AVGO is up over 2%. Sienna climbed. They were upgraded. Very good stock. I was very bullish on the stock a few weeks ago. They got upgraded. Still moving well. Now let's go to technicals. So crypto. Let's start with crypto. Okay. A lot of Facebook AI is just Facebook, not to be sold to someone else. Okay. Good feedback. Oh, by the way, remember I have a class at 2 o'clock. State of the market class. It's happening at 2 o'clock. You guys are going to love it. I promise you, you guys are going to love it. At 2 p.m. 2 p.m. At noon, I have my VIP room. Please don't miss out. It'll be a lot of interesting stuff today I'll be talking about, and I will be talking about a lot of interesting stuff. And here's a link to Customer Service Live. There's that. All right. All right. Got 516 people here. We should have 250 likes. Crypto. Let's start with crypto. Crypto is already above. So you could see here, crypto's already above the A line. Crypto's already bouncing off the VWAPs, all three VWAPs. It's already in the meat of the move. If we see Bitcoin going higher, it'll be very beneficial. But Roger, Bitcoin didn't get hit yesterday. Well, folks, Bitcoin got hit indirectly via utilities yesterday because the energy market dictates the cost of Bitcoin. You know, it's like US dollar and gold. The relationship between US dollar and gold is the same as energies and Bitcoin, because as the dollar gets cheaper, it's easier to mine these. It's cheaper to mine these. So they become more attractive. So the fact that they're up today is at least showing us that there is less pressure on utility stocks. Download open license. Yes, Eagle, you can. Yeah, you can download it, and it seems very Eagle. So here's the thing: you can download it, and it does seem to be faster. The problem is we don't know what chips they're using, and Uncle Roger, that's me, feels and thinks that they're lying through their teeth and are using NVIDIA chips to power that software. And I think NVIDIA yesterday indirectly. Now, see, NVIDIA has a license where they can't disclose things, but I think NVIDIA yesterday came out with a statement pretty much saying, hey, they're using our chips. So if that's the case, they don't really have anything, because the whole point is, look, we have a faster unit and we're not using NVIDIA chips. No, you have a faster unit, but you are using NVIDIA chips, which means you're using the same chips as we are, which means you have no advantage. Do you understand, Eagle, the argument? Yeah, exactly. What Jeff is saying, I mean, look, just because you have a program, how do I know what's powering that program? Understood? So I think we're all saying the same thing. Look, I don't trust them as far as I could throw them, okay? And I'm not that big. So, but I'm trying to give you all the upside and I'm trying to give you all the downside. But the fact that utilities, that crypto is up, and remember, crypto has a very strong correlation with the rest of the technology sector, with QQQ, as we already know. If you don't believe me, let me show you. See that? Look at the SPY right now. Look at the SPY. Look at the SPY. And look at here, crypto, yeah, Bitcoin here. And look at this. It's identical, almost identical, virtual, like 95% correlation. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Oh, well, thank you, Frank. So the more we find out if that's the truth, the less this will have an impact on the market. But I like what I'm seeing on crypto. That's another. So we have a gap up this morning. We're in the gap on the SPY. We're in the gap on Bitcoin. That's positive. So we have two technical factors that are positive. The bond market. The bond market is lower today, and the bond market is filling this gap. Remember, the bond market didn't go up yesterday because of interest rates. The bond market went up yesterday because there was panic money moving out of the stock market and into bonds. We call that flight to quality. Today, we are seeing money coming out of the bond market. That's a positive sign for the stock market, because this money is not going anywhere except NASDAQ, okay? So this is positive. So we have Bitcoin higher. We have the bond market lower, which is positive. US dollar. Trump was making comments about the US dollar, causing it to go up. US dollar is up again. Bond market is down. Gold is just kind of doing its own thing, keeping an eye on the US dollar. Folks, you can't have the US dollar making a new high and gold making a new high. Something has to give. Okay? Something has to give. Yay! Thank you, Dr. Serena. Yeah, it's going to get more and more and more people this year. So be careful. We have a huge resistance area on gold here. And I told you that I will feel comfortable buying gold after we pass this area up here. Now, I didn't tell you that yesterday. I told you that when we were here. When we were here, I drew this line and I told you we need to get past this level. I didn't just draw this yesterday. And I told you we need to get past this level like a couple of weeks ago. We still need to get above 2,800. If we don't get above, this is just a wick. We need to like trade above this level. So the US dollar and gold right now are trying to figure out what Trump is going to do. Durable good orders are down a lot. That's bad. Very, very bad. Let's take a quick look. They didn't come out here yet. 1 second. Let me just quickly go and let me pull up TC2000 and see what's going on here. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I still have time. I want to really dissect the market for you guys to give you a... and keep in mind, these are monthly reports. I'm not really big on monthly reports. So here's the stock market right now. The bond market is... Remember, the bond market gets the brunt of this news. The bond market is not reacting at all. Like, look, nothing. Like it's not even on the horizon. The SPY, not really doing anything. Not really doing anything. Look, we went here to yesterday's close. This is yesterday's close. We closed right here. We gapped up this morning. We tested about an hour ago. We tested yesterday's close, and look, we rallied off of that. So this is good that we tested yesterday's high, which was yesterday's close. That's very positive, and we went right back up. That's very, very good. That's very, very positive. Okay, and this is also very positive. The fact that we're above yesterday's high. This is right now. I don't see the bond market. Okay, the bond market's going up. That's good. That's good. And on this news, the fact that the bond market's going up on this news is positive. It's not that bad. Let's see how bad the news is. Hopefully it's already... Okay. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Transports, core. Yep, they're not great. Durable goods are not good. They're not good. Let's see if it's having any impact on the Dow. Yeah, a little bit. So let's just say the report is not having a major impact on the market. Look, the report is not having a major impact. It's very hard. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. What does it mean to see the 20-year bond, and why don't we use the 10-year for pre-market? Well, Omar, I answered that question several times while we were here. I'll answer it again because it's a good question, but then I got to move on if you guys want me to do a deep analysis, because that's what I'm trying to do here. You see, Omar, if you try to figure out where the 5-year note is going to be in 5 years, or the 10-year bond is going to be in 5, or the 20-year, you're going to have the same answer. You see how this doesn't even calculate it? It's 20-year plus. Anything over 5 years is correlated to the 10-year or the 20-year or the 30-year by a factor of 95%. So, for example, Omar, let's go to financials. I want to show you something, Omar. 30-year bond, right? 10-year bond, 5-year bond. I'm going to show you 3 pictures, and you tell me if they look any different. This is the 30-year bond, Omar. Just remember this picture, okay? Remember this picture. Now let me show you the 10-year. Did they look different, Omar? Even by a fraction? How about the 5-year? It's called the long bond. Anything over 2 years is called the long bond, and they have a correlation of about 95% with each other. You don't know this, Omar, because if you're asking me this question, you obviously haven't been doing this a long time. But back in the day, they actually wanted to take away the 30-year and just leave the 10-year because their correlation was so high, and they didn't even have the ultra bond. But they decided to leave it because people who had 30-year notes, mortgages, wanted to hedge themselves. So to answer your question, the reason we just use the long bond is because they're identical. Okay? All right. Let's continue. Sorry, Omar, I needed to give you the full answer. Crude oil. Crude oil, is crude oil going up or down? Crude oil is stabilizing. This is deflationary. This is not inflationary right here. And I already mentioned gold. Gold is just sitting there. Now let's get to the big stuff. The big stuff. Volatility. What is volatility doing? Remember yesterday I told you that if volatility doesn't go above this level here. Yesterday I told you that if volatility doesn't go above this level right here, the odds are this is going to be a nothing burger. Right here. I told you this level. I showed you this line right here on a daily, and we almost came to it. Then I also told you the odds are if we peak out over here and start going down, the odds are this thing is over. Notice we didn't really go anywhere after we opened yesterday. Okay? We didn't really go anywhere after we opened yesterday. So, and right now we're all the way at the bottom. What I want to see today after the market opens is I don't want to see this spiking to 19. I want this going to 16 and a half. If you see this spiking up and going back up, the market is not going to go up. The only way the market is going to go up is if we open and start going lower, continue going lower, which I think will happen because we're right now at the low. Volatility is actually down right now. Okay. From going to 22 all the way to 18, that's telling me that there's a lot of resistance here and this is an overreaction. I'm sorry, folks. My dogs are going crazy. I can barely hear myself talk. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Not yet, not yet. We don't need to set the VWAP yet, but I will after today. In a couple of days, I will. Not yet. It's a lot of heart. Yes, it is a lot of heart. Thank you, Kanaka. Kanaka. Now let's see how many thumbs up we got so far. 227. Nice, and we almost have 600 people here. I love it. All right, so this is moving in our way. This is moving our way. I like this. What about the long bond? Let's look at the long bond. Long bond is coming down, already in the gap. That's very, very good. What about SMH? Let's look at semiconductors. That's a problem right here. That's a problem right here. What do we want to see on semiconductors today? We want to see semiconductors trade above 245, 246. We want to see semiconductors trade above 246. If semiconductors don't trade above 246, nothing good is going to happen. 246. 246 is the magic level. Not yet, Omar. Not yet. Volatility is your friend when everything is moving in the same direction. We need to take out yesterday's high. If we don't take out yesterday's high on semiconductors, nothing good is going to happen. So you're going to be looking at two major factors today. You're going to be looking at volatility to keep breaking that 17.7 level, and you're going to look at semiconductors to break the 246 level, the 245.60, whatever. You basically wanted to go to 246. If it doesn't go to 246 today, we're not going to get any soup. Okay. What about the SPY? Well, the SPY already broke yesterday's high. Here, you could see it right here. You could see it right here. We already took out yesterday's high. The next level we need to take out on the SPY, the next level we need to go to up to the SPY is the 605, 606 level. And we want to stay away from breaking the 50-day moving average, which is at 596. I'm amazed you guys can't hear my dogs. What about QQQ? That's going to be a very important one as well. QQQ needs to get above. Now, QQQ needs to get here. Let me show you a few things. This is really important. QQQ needs to get above 518.11, 518.11. On a daily basis, QQQ needs to get above all of this crap right here. Let me show you. See all this? You had an 8-day moving average to 50. You have one, two, you have three resistance areas here. You have two VWAPs and a 50-day moving average. We need to get above all of that. Basically, we need to get above this A line, which is at 521, 520, 521. So you want to see NASDAQ go up to 521. Okay? 521. You want to see SMH. Is this helpful to you guys? Is this helpful to you guys? Tell me if this is helpful. You want SMH to go above 246. You want VIX. You want VIX to drop below the 100-day line like it's doing right now and continue breaking down. You want to see this continue breaking down. You want to see VIX break down. Okay? You hear snippets of the dog. Okay? The financial sector is not being impacted by what is happening right now. Okay, so those are the key levels I want you to watch. What else is helping us right now? What else is helping us right now? Now, this is interesting. I want you guys to pay attention. These goddamn dogs, they're not giving me any relief this morning. Now I'm getting a headache. Oh, see how the market's doing. Yeah, pretty much the same. Oh, the Dow's coming off. See, this divergence is not good. We want to see everything positive, but the market hasn't opened yet. Let's look how things are looking so far on TLT. The bond market is virtually no movement. No movement. What about SPY? Down a little bit. That's not good. SMH down. Not good. Not good. Folks, nothing good will happen until we get above this 100-day on SMH, which is at 246, right around 246. We got to get above these levels. But look, you've got the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day right above us on the SMH. There's a hell of a lot of resistance here we need to overcome. I don't know. Let me check really quick what's out there. Hey. It's the gardeners. Sorry about that. Just going nuts. Yeah, you guys can't hear them, but I can. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you so much. That's very nice. And by the way, guys, I don't know who said I was being condescending yesterday. I'm just trying to spend an hour with you and help you read the market action. I'm not trying to be condescending. Okay, so markets are just kind of wobbly right now. I don't like the fact that the Dow is getting negative. That's one thing that's bad, but I do like everything else I've showed you. Now, what other silver linings do we have? Now, this was a shocker. You know, I showed you guys. I think yesterday everybody was. I think yesterday everybody was. I had a session yesterday with the rest of the guys, with Jeffrey and with Nate and with a couple of guys. And one of the things I think yesterday was surprised everybody was when we looked at the number of stocks breaking down, right? The market was down really big yesterday, right? But look at the number of stocks breaking down. 48 stocks, 37 stocks, 32 stocks. There's no break there's hardly any stocks breaking down, which is telling me that this move is very it's a very immature move. What do I mean by immature? When stocks go lower, they stay lower. It's hard to get them to go up or down. In this case, it looks like just a few stocks pulled back, mostly Nvidia, and caused this. So my point is, this downside action that we're seeing is not caused by the broad market. It's caused by the semiconductor sector. Okay. So there are very, very few stocks breaking down. Now, there's not a lot of stocks breaking out. There's only 100 stocks breaking out. And if you take away the ETFs, you have 94 stocks breaking out and 37 stocks breaking down. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is there's really not a lot of momentum in the market right now. Well, what do you mean? The market went down like crazy yesterday. Yes, because of this, because of Nvidia, because of Nvidia. Nvidia dropped 17%, one of the biggest stocks in the world. But if you look years ago, MTI, yeah, I think he was. I think he was an MTI. Yes, yes, yeah. So you see, this is the culprit here. This is the culprit here. This is the culprit here. If you were to if you were to look at the major sectors, which we'll look at right now, look, financials, right? Utilities near the high, semiconductors, see that? But look at Russell 2000, hardly anything there. Look at consumer staples. They broke up to the upside yesterday. Walmart, Home Depot, anyways. Energy stocks didn't really do much. Healthcare rallied yesterday. Technology, see? Technology. Industrial didn't really go crazy yesterday. Real estate rallied yesterday. Communication made a new high yesterday. Material didn't do anything. So the only sectors that got bitten were sectors that were related to the chip stocks, like QQQ, SPY, obviously 40% technology, semiconductors, look at that, from 260 to 240. And I told you guys yesterday right here, if you're a professional, to sell premium right here, only if you're a professional. Oh, all right. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. Exactly. So my point, I did my first order on put SMA yesterday. Wish me good luck. Good luck, Young. So my point is, this is not a broad market sell-off, and don't treat it like a broad market sell-off. Okay. And to add more evidence of that, look at RSP yesterday. This is the equal weighted SPY. This is taking the market cap of Nvidia out of the market yesterday. What did the market do yesterday, folks? Nothing. So let me tie it up, put it all into together in a bow tie for you. Okay. So the market itself right now is not very volatile, even though earnings have started. As a matter of fact, the market is rather choppy and boring right now. One of the reasons why we've been seeing big gaps and then nothing happen afterwards, which makes day trading very, very difficult because the gap happens overnight and then we have nothing happening till then. Number one. So in principle, momentum levels are very, very low right now. And I believe the real momentum is going to start tomorrow with all of these large cap earnings stocks. I don't know, Stacy, yet. I don't know yet. Good, Mike. This will shorten your learning curve by about 20 years, and I'm not kidding. So so tomorrow I think we're going to get some firepower. The downside move was contained yesterday. It was very limited and it was contained. So if you stayed away from semiconductors or energy stocks or utility stocks that are related to it, you would have been okay. We don't have a lot of directional bias right now. There's not a lot of stocks moving, even though yesterday the market went crazy. Volatility is still breaking down. So what do I expect to happen today? I'm expecting the market, unless the market starts really going down, hard in the morning, I think the market is going to bounce pretty good today, especially in the non-chip stocks. My biggest concern is going to be watching SMH. My biggest concern is going to be watching SMH, which is up right now a little over 1%. I want to see if SMH takes out the 246 level. That's the biggest factor. Okay? The biggest factor. The biggest factor. Okay? The biggest factor. The second biggest factor is going to be volatility. I want to see the bond, I want to see volatility continue moving lower and not rounding up and coming back up here. So you're going to be looking at volatility after the first half hour of the day. You're not going to do anything first half hour of the day. You're going to be waiting for consumer confidence. You're going to be watching the bond market for very low activity. You're going to be looking at SMH for upside, and you're going to be looking at whether RSP, if here's another major clue. Keep an eye on RSP, and if market cap keeps going into, yesterday money went from mega caps to RSP. I want to see money going back into mega caps. I want to see money going back into mega caps. I want mega caps to start trading above these three moving, all of this. There's a wall here. There's a VWAP, another VWAP, three VWAPs, and an A line. So there's a lot of resistance. We want the mega caps to go through all of this back to this area. If you don't see any of those three things today, money. So I'm going to tell you again what they are. If you don't see money moving from RSP into MAGs, number one. If you don't see volatility continue to break down VIX, $ VIX, and if you don't see SMH if you don't see SMH coming to that key level, hold on a second. That key level right here, that 246 level, we're not going to go much higher. We're not going to go much higher. Okay? So again, because there's too much market cap in technology. Now, what about all the other stocks, the blue chips, the Dow? Those are okay. The problem with that is that we don't have any momentum. We have no momentum. So I think semiconductors need to get out of the no buying zone so folks can get excited about the upside of the market and start increasing momentum, because we're not having any momentum. And that's why the RSP looks like this. Look, there's no directional bias. So chip stocks are coming off, and there's nothing helping us here on the broad market. The Dow, hopefully I'm giving you guys some good directions. I got to get out of here, actually. The Dow, I want to see the Dow continue moving higher. I like blue chips right now. Okay? Hopefully RSP goes down, MAGS goes up, means money leaving RSP into MAGS. That's exactly what it means. Technology. I want to see money coming into technology again. Technology. I want to see money coming into chips and technology again. Ooh, come on, guys. How about 29 more thumbs ups? We're at 611 people. I haven't even got into my stocks yet. We had 263. We need 20. Actually, we need 37, not 27. We need 37. We need 37 more likes, and we'll have 300 likes. That's what I'm thinking, Kanaka. Would he put $65 billion into AI knowing that China's about to undercut him? Come on. All right, stocks that I like. Short side first, short side first, short side first. Yeah, we need 37 more thumbs up. IMVT. Would I day trade this stock? No, but is it a good swing to the short side? I think so. Why would I not day trade this stock? Look at how many wicks everywhere. Possible Foot Locker. Hey, I remember this stock. I remember somebody making money on it yesterday. Very choppy, but I still like it to the downside. I remember I got 3 emails. Roger, this is not a good A-line stock. We're going to lose money on this stock. What are you doing? And then we make money on it yesterday. I love I get emails. You guys would not believe the emails I get. I get a lot of very critical emails. People trying to teach me how to trade. Monster Beverage below the A line right now. 5 more. 5 more. We need 5 more likes. CARR. Nice A line stock right here. Yeah. Circle that one. That's a nice A line stock. IR. If this gets below this crap here, this will be a nice A-line stock. It has to come down to about 89. FCX, regular stock. Nice short. Alcoa. Alcoa. Yeah, it needs a little patience, yeah. Yeah, people trying to teach me how to trade all the time, Penny. You'd be amazed. Yes, people do try to teach me. Alcoa looks good if it breaks the slow right here. It has to break the slow here. People do try to teach me how to trade all the time and correct me all the time too. NCX broke the 200, still looks pretty good. Volume coming up. ACLX. I gave you this a few days ago. I'm not being sarcastic. I gave this to you a few days ago for the first time. I wouldn't day trade this stock, but right now day trading with the RSP doing this is challenging. SCVL. I don't know how good the liquidity is on this baby, but Shoe Carnival is not doing that great. All right, let's see if we have a new record. Let's take a look. I'm going to upgrade this and see. Yay, we got 310 likes. Wow. Robert, you guys outdid yourself. Dr. Serena and Robert, great job. Let's give... Great job. Great job. Thank you so much for doing that. Very, very kind of you guys. Very, very kind of you. Boyd says every time I think you're wrong, I lose money. Oy, oy, oy. I think so, Kanaka. I think they're using NVIDIA. That's my 5 cents. I can't prove it, but let's now do the upside, okay? Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Thank you, Naples fan. Thank you, guys. CAH, we got it. We broke our record. We're breaking records today. I got to get to work, but I want to give you the long side. Carnival Health, if money keeps going out of, by the way, if my scenario doesn't work out, and if money isn't coming out of RSP and staying in RSP, and if all those things, if those 3 things that I said today are not going to work out, basically the semiconductors, the volatility, the bonds, and a couple of other things that I talked about already, if they don't work out, you can expect to see money coming into defensive sectors like healthcare, basic materials, consumer staples. Healthcare, consumer staples, just FYI. That's one of the reasons why I went long that stock that I went long in the pit yesterday. Please don't mention it right now. But I think you guys all understand why I went long that stock yesterday. And if you guys are not in the pit yesterday, if you're not in the pit, you're really doing yourself a disservice. I like Walmart, and I like that stock. I like Walmart as much as I like that stock I gave you in the pit yesterday at the end of the day that we're not going to talk about right now. And yes, they're both in the exact same category. Wells Fargo's looking good. Somebody mentioned financial stocks. I would wait for this wick to be eaten up. This is not good, but I like where it's moving right now. This is reminding me of RSP. RSP, no movement here. You're not going to get a lot of movement on stocks until RSP starts doing something. And look what RSP is doing. Look at this. How do you trade this, right? Okay, let's continue. Ralph Lauren, I like. Now it's this is an A-line, potential A-line pullback to the upside if it trades above this gap. Same thing for UAL. I like UAL and I like Ralph Lauren, but I'd like for them to go up a little bit before we buy. I want to see them go back up. I want to see them try to take out the high again. I like BSX. This is one of my favorite stocks last year and this year. Yeah, you have to refresh the page. If you refresh the page, you'll see there's 300 and here, you could see it right here. 310 people. right there. 593 watching and 310 right now. Okay, let's continue. Hey, look at that. 323 thumbs up. I like that, SJ. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. We'll get a lot of UGI. I don't know what this company does. Does anybody know what this company does? Because the chart looks fantastic. I mean, fantastic. Let me see what they do. Gas distribution. Okay. Okay. Beautiful looking stock. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look, no choppiness. Beautiful looking stock right there. That is a beautiful looking stock right there. Probably very illiquid, but all right, I'm going to be late to work. Nice. Spotify's looking good. Spotify's looking good. Doesn't have any of that chip. More of like a consumer discretionary tech stock. VRSN, another one that I really liked yesterday. I think I might have broadcasted this in the pit as a bonus, possibly. Possibly, I don't remember. And then Chef. Remember this stock, Chef? It's interesting. I confuse this stock with EAT, with this stock for some reason, all the time. They're both looking fantastic. So you got Chef and you got EAT. All right. All right. I'm not scanning for earnings. All right, guys, that's it for today. Let me give you a link one last time. We're going to have a lot of fun today at 2 o'clock. I promise you, we're going to have a lot of fun at 2 p.m. today. JC, please don't post stocks that we have in the pit here publicly. I know you're a good guy, a gal. I know you're not doing it intentionally. Please don't do that, okay? Please don't do that. The dogs have gotten quiet after I went outside and hushed them. VIP room link is right here. Yeah, JC Realty, Jay, Cindy, don't post stocks that we currently have open here publicly for people. It's not good. It's not going to make me happy. And here is the room for the customer service live. All right. Thank you, guys. I know you didn't know. I know you didn't know because I know you're good people. I know you didn't know. Now you do. Just please don't do that. All right, guys. I will see you later. Have a fantastic day. I'll be around all day long. If you guys need anything, that's what my dogs are doing, Penny. That's exactly what they're doing. Today's trash day. If you guys need anything, here's my email address. I don't do customer service. I'm like the worst person to reach out for customer service, but I will help you with stocks. There's my email address. I hope you guys have a blessed day today. All right. And keep an eye on mega cap versus RSP. Keep your eye on volatility and the bond market, and keep your eye on the high on SMH. If we don't take out the high on SMH or Nvidia, if we take out the high in Nvidia, we'll take out the high in SMH. They're connected. If we don't do that, we're going to have another day of trouble potentially with SMH. Okay? Bye, guys. Thank you so much for making this day the #1 thumbs up day in history of the program. Bye, everybody.